Next up, we have The Gravity from the Guilty Gear Strive soundtrack by Daisuke Ishiwatari. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member, all that good stuff. Two disclaimers. Number one, this is my first time hearing this track, so I will be pausing and talking a lot, as I will be explaining things and pointing things out as I hear them or as I realize them. And number two, this is recorded live on stream on a single take. I will stumble upon my words, I did earlier. Whatever happens, happens. So, with that being said, let's get started. Let's see what we got. The Gravity. And Random Idiot, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mosh Pit. Okay, so we're 5 seconds in. We got quite a few elements. We start with a string orchestra. We have, I think it could be a full string orchestra. It could be a chamber string orchestra. I think it's a full string orchestra. So when it comes to orchestras, right, you have two main components. You have the string orchestra, and then you have the rest, which is brass, which is going to be woodwinds, brass, percussion, and maybe like pianos, harps, whatever, right? So a string orchestra is going to be 75 to 80% of any orchestra that you see. And these are going to have 5 sections usually. You're going to have your violin section number 1, violin section number 2, a viola section, a cello section, and a double bass. That was horrible. And a double bass section. So what are sections? Each section here is going to be made of a certain number of musicians. For example, a violin sections are going to be usually the same size. The viola section is going to be slightly smaller. The cello section is going to be slightly smaller than that. Double bass section slightly smaller than that. So when it comes to a full orchestra, you're going to have maybe 12 first violins, 12 second violins, 10 violas, 8 cellos, and 6 double basses, depending on the combination that you get. That is already a lot of people. The difference between a full orchestra or a full-sized orchestra and a chamber orchestra is that chamber orchestras are smaller. So in the case of a chamber orchestra, your first section could be two violins, 2 violas, 2 first violins, maybe 4 first violins, 4 second violins, 3 violas, 2 cellos, and 1 double bass. So there is that. The size matter. This is not a matter of size; it's a matter of quantity. So it's very, very much so. And yes, Blitz, I know that I've explained this in other videos, but there's people who haven't seen the other videos, so that's why I'm explaining it here. So we're having that to start, and then we got some drums to bring forward something. By the way, the strings were playing something that is called a tremolo. Tremolo is when you basically play one note over and over again really fast. Kind of like rolling your R's, like kind of thing, just with whatever instrument you are doing. That is usually a tremolo, which, funnily enough, for woodwind instruments and trumpets and whatnot, the way you do a tremolo is you roll your R's while blowing into the instrument. So, yeah, we had some tremolo, and we got some drums. Let's see where this goes. Quite the contrast, isn't it? So now we get a guitar. I think it's one. It could be 2 guitars giving us a riff. So a riff is composed of several elements. We have the idea of the motif, which a motif is going to be the smallest version of a musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. You add an ostinato to that. An ostinato is when you repeat something over and over and over and over and over again. And then you put that on a guitar or maybe a bass, one of the more contemporary instruments that we have, in this case is a guitar, and you get a riff. That is basically what these are. Riffs are a lot more accessible nowadays to most musicians, because one of the issues with motifs is that they tend to be very raw, simple versions of musical ideas, and you have to know how to develop them and how to cultivate them and everything, which makes music making a lot more difficult. However, if you have a riff, that is usually going to be something that is already at least half baked, if not fully baked, and then taking things from that is going to be a lot easier, at least nowadays. So it's one of the reasons why most bands, most artists won't be using motifs, but they will be using riffs instead. So we have this, and we have the drum. Not really giving the drum's not really giving us the full beat just yet. The drum is giving us there's this type of beat that some drums do, especially in metal, which is more like an extended drum fill. And it's basically, they are not using the cymbals, they're just using all the toms to give a more tribal, grounded version of the beat, which is what is happening over here. Let's see where this goes. Okay, so now we switch over really fast to another riff. Kind of unrelated to the first one. Rhythmically is very, very similar to the first one. And instead of it being on the lower end of the guitar, it's on the higher end of the guitar. And we have one guitar panned to each ear. So let's explore the concept of panning real quick. Right, so panning in audio, because there's panning in film, there's panning in visual arts, that kind of thing. Panning in audio is taking the concept of stereo. Stereo is the standard that we use nowadays for speakers, because, human beings, left ear, right ear, most of us have them working. So stereo takes that and grabs the idea of that. You have left ear, left speaker, right speaker, and it splits whatever it is that you're doing, whatever audio wave or whatever audio file you have, into two. So whenever you click play on a stereo track, you're not clicking play on a single audio file, you're clicking play on two. One of each goes to your left ear, one of each goes to the right ear, and usually they're going to be playing something that, as a sum of its components, is going to give you the full sound. So you have left ear, right ear, and then you have yourself right here, all happy, deformed, and bald, therefore evil. So the way it works is, if you have, let's say, a guitar track, and they are both playing at 100% volume from both ears, it's going to sound like it comes from the front. However, if you start lowering the volume on one ear, the further you lower the volume, the more to the other side it's going to sound. And that's what we're getting right now. We have one guitar that is fully muted on the left ear, and therefore it sounds like it's coming from the right ear. We have one guitar that is fully muted from the right ear. It sounds like it's coming from the left ear. And the combination of both gives us this really, really cool contrast between the two. Let's see where this goes. Okay, so first off, the changes in this track are breakneck speed. This, considering that it's video game music, it probably has a well-merited thing. Yes, I'm glad, Solkrig, I'm glad. So, in these cases, I hope that the music changing this fast merits that in the game, because you would need the scenery to change this fast in the game, or that there's some sort of dramatic element that is going this fast, because changing so fast between your sections is a very, very bad idea. Because once again, when you're making music, you want to keep a very careful balance between what is new and what is familiar. Too much familiarity, too much repetition, you risk boring the listener. They tune out. Too much new stuff too quickly, you risk overwhelming the listener. And in this case, we are now on the fourth iteration of the music. We are on the fourth section of this of this track within 25 seconds. And each of them is drastically different from the previous one. That is a very risky move. That is very, very risky. Am I disliking it? No, because it could be kind of like a mini overture to what we're about to listen to. Like, it's likely going to be like, oh yeah, here's 5 seconds of the first part, 10 seconds of the next one, 7 seconds of the next one, 7 seconds of the next one, and from here is like we're going to be exploring the whole thing afterwards, which is not uncommon. Like, the concept of an overture is kind of that. So, Deldex, welcome today, and Jack, welcome today. How you doing? So, yes, and Asus, welcome to the Mosh Pit. Thank you for the follow. So yes, so we're having this, and now we bring back the string orchestra. Now, instead of playing tremolos, they are playing legato. So they are playing legato. Legato means to let the notes play all the way through, which is very much what string instruments like violins, violas, cellos, double basses excel at. They are incredibly good at legato because that makes the instruments more dramatic. So let's see where this goes. This is where it goes. Oh yeah, and the bass here is just really, really cool. Really cool bass line. And the bass line is keeping us kind of tied together. So it's not that this is entirely different and completely unrelated material. It's not that, because the what's it called? The motif and the riff is being oh, Thomas, thank you for the 5 memberships on YouTube. Appreciate it. Everybody who just got them, enjoy your membership. You got the emotes now. So let's see where this goes, because now the bass, first we had the guitars on the lower end, then the guitars on the higher end. Now the bass is doing this version of this. So let's see where this goes. Another change. We bring back the riff with a proper drum beat. It's time for me to mention them. First time around, we had this quasi drum fill beat, like a lot of tom heavy when it comes to the other ones. Like, it didn't have the other cymbals and everything. And now we are with a proper drum beat. And just that contrast between the... One second, I need to, how do I ban you? How do I ban you? There you go. So, somebody, yeah, I don't care. I'm not gonna DM you on WhatsApp, and I'm in the middle of something. So, the drum beat is now there, but the riff is the same as the one we saw before. So, yes, in the end, that intro ended up being like a mini overture to this whole thing. And usually that's the purpose of an overture. The overture is going to give you a preview of what is to happen next. So, the drums here played such an insanely incredible role, which is, we had the initial riff playing with a more muddied version of the drums. It had one vibe. Now the drums are in a different type, a completely different vibe. If you want another example of how much drums can really, really affect this kind of stuff, listen to the intro of The Mirror by Dream Theater. That's it, boys. I mentioned it again. Something similar happens in The Mirror, except the guitarist is doing an ostinato of a 3-chord chug. Chung-chung-chung, 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 for a whole minute. And it's the drums and the synths and everything else that changes around them. And there's that. It's the first time today, Muster. It's the first time today. So that don't count. So, or that starts the count. So yeah, we're having that, and in essence, this is what has happened here, except we put another couple of sections of quick sections in between. So, let's see where this goes. Let's see where this goes. Oh, so now we include some vocals. I wouldn't call this a song, because you can tell that the singing here was not the driving factor, the driving it wasn't the driving edge of this whole thing. The main driving edge has been the what's it called? The guitars and the drums. Still, we are having this really cool vocal, like quasi-choral track, giving us a couple of extra beats and some highlights, and it's just really good. Let's see where it goes. Enzo, welcome to the How you doing? All right, Thomas, sounds good. Remind me afterwards. And we had a super proggy friggin' section there. I would call that a break, because it did use the riff, and it sequenced the riff. So now the concept of a sequence, right? So sequencing in motific development is when you take some sort of melodic concept, and instead of repeating it one to one, you change where it is in the scale, and you create this meta line of whatever direction you want to take it in. And yes, Enzo, it is, yes. So we're having that. We create a quick sequence to create cadence to bring it to the next part. And yes, Romazito, Thomas just gave a bunch of memberships. So when you're making music, you're doing one of two things. You are building tension, you are resolving that tension. Those are the two things you do. That point in between we call cadence. So what happened with this little quick break section? Cadence. We were just building cadence, because one of the difficult things about contemporary music made out of riffs, which riffs you are just repeating over and over again, is creating a proper cadence, because these riffs are looping amongst themselves, within themselves, so to change over to something else, you need a little bit of extra push. That is one of the challenges and one of the drawbacks of not having this kind of thing. So let's see where this goes. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back a second. So now we bring in a new riff, which is a variation of the first riff, given to us in a different time signature. Man, we're going through all of the concepts right now. So, for these, we are having... Yeah, because now we have entered odd time signatures. So, when it comes to music, you have three elements: melody, harmony, rhythm. Rhythm is the use of time. Time is then subdivided into bars or measures. Because time is when something happens, how fast, how slow, whatever it is, right? We divide this into bars or measures. It's interchangeable concepts, and these are then they're determined. They are then determined by a time signature. A time signature is two numbers: upper number, lower number. The upper number is the number of beats. The lower number is the type of beats that you get. In English, it's easy to remember the notes, right? So a whole note is going to be symbolized by number 1, a half note by number 2. Quarter note, number 4, eighth note, number 8, 16th note, 16, so on and so forth. Something to note: one whole note contains 2 half notes, one half note contains 2 quarter notes, one quarter note contains 2 eighth notes, so on and so forth. So a 4/4 bar contains 4 quarters. It is going to contain 4 quarter notes, which is going to be counted 1 through 4, because then you count the quarter notes as your time signature. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. However, now we are entering something called odd time signatures. In this case, I believe we're in 5. I think we're in 5/4 for this one, which goes then, instead of counting to 4, we count to 5, which... It's incredible how difficult it can be to count to such simple numbers in music. So, yeah. Trinity, welcome today. How you doing? So, yes, now instead of going from 1 through 4, we're going through 1 through 5. And we immediately... Man, the changes here are insanely fast. Like, even when we are bringing things back, this is insanely... Like, the harmonic rhythm here is insanely fast. The speed at which things are changing is insanely fast, which, as a piece by itself, is a big risk, and it would be just a bad idea to have by itself. However, once you put it in a video game, it is going to have a functional purpose. And from what I've seen, I was told that this is a fighting game, so adding that kind of tension is going to work. That is later. Welcome today, and Ms. Easiest, welcome today. How y'all doing? So yeah, let's see where this goes. Okay, so it is a song in the end. It's just at the start with the vocals, they were doing the very ominous vocals. So this is not a piece, this is a song. So the difference between... We are really going through all the concepts over here. Holy shit. All right, so the difference between a piece or track versus a song is that a piece or track is going to be usually instrumental. The instrumental melodies, harmonies, they are going to be the driving force of the entire piece, while as a song is going to be the vocals, the lyrics that are going to be the driving force behind these. And these are also distinguished by the structure, because when it comes to form or structure, for songs it's fairly easy. We had an intro just now, which lasted about a minute. Now we're on our first verse. Then we are gonna have probably a pre-chorus, then a chorus, something like that. However, in a piece, that is determined, your form is determined by whatever motifs you're using, so it complicates things a little bit and it becomes more of a case-by-case type of thing. So, it's gonna be the longest LFA? No, the longest LFA is like an hour 15. So, it was one of the first bribe lists we had. I did a 15-minute song. So I don't think we're going to reach that. So let's see where I'm from. It's easiest try to guess where I'm from. I'll give you one guess. So let's see where this goes, because now we have the vocals in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Okay, so yeah. As you can hear, the vocals are the main focus, and this is something so tricky about prog music, because this is now prog metal, progressive metal. And when it comes to progressive metal, usually the vocals are going to be the simplest line, the simplest melody that you're going to have, like the simplest line that you're going to have in the whole thing. And it just makes everything so weird. It's not bad. It's just so weird because it puts off, because you're hearing everything else going absolutely nuts. Like the guitars are doing this like altered odd time signature riff of the of a version of the riff. You're having the drums keeping up with that, and then you have the vocalist giving a considerably simpler version of the whole thing. So yeah, we're having that. Let's see where it goes. Okay. So yeah, this is going to be a pre-chorus. So structurally speaking, wrong thing. Structurally speaking, we went from intro to verse to now I think it's a pre-chorus. So when it comes to vocal music, to songs, the verse is going to be lyrics over music. The driving force of the verse is going to be pushing through text. Requests are not open just yet. Right now, I'll explain afterwards. Now we're going to go a pre-chorus, which is going to be the connecting tissue between the verse and the chorus. And then the chorus is going to be music over text. So the focus of a verse is usually to go through as much text as possible, and just go through the paragraphs as much as you can. Then the chorus is going to be a lot more than just the singing. The singing is going to be a lot more melodic. It's going to be a lot more catchy. That's where going to be the main melodies of the song, kind of thing. We review. It's not review. It's more of an analysis of video game music. So yeah. So right now we're in the pre-chorus, what I think is the pre-chorus, and I think after this we're going to go to the chorus. Let's see if I'm right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are in 4/4, just really fast. And a quick moment of going off the ramp with an organ. Man, like the changes in this are so insanely fast. Like each individual section is awesome. This is very overwhelming. So I can see how in a video game this is going to be so cool. Like in a video game this is going to be cool, especially if the game is fast-paced. That's going to be really cool. As a piece by itself, as a song by itself, yeah, this is not good. It's not that it's not good, because each individual component is really good. It's just overwhelming. So yes, fast-paced fighting. So yeah, it makes sense for the game. It makes a lot of sense. Let's see. So yeah, the song itself is really good. The changes themselves are overwhelmingly fast. Let's see where it goes. And now we have arrived at the chorus. As you can see, as you can hear, the vocals are no longer going that super fast-paced, growly side. Now we've got a full contrast, because on the verse, we were going in these really weird time signatures. Everything felt unstable. The pre-chorus sped things up. And now the chorus, it has gone into the type of measure we talked about, time signatures, right? So when it comes to time signatures, there is a very beautiful one, which is 6/8. 6/8, as I mentioned before, right? Like upper number of notes, lower number. And when it comes to eighth notes and below, you start subdividing. So instead of counting numbers 1 through 6, or you can do that, but then the emphasis is not going to be the individual ones, but it's going to be the grouped versions. So 6 you can subdivide into 2 groups of 3. So the way you count 6/8 is not 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. It's going to be 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6, which gives you this more dancing-esque, dance-like vibe to the whole thing. This is not to be confused with an equivalent of notes, which would be a 3/4, because as I said, one quarter note has 2 eighth notes, and when it comes to 3/4, you're not counting you'll be counting 3 quarter notes, which is going to be for a different purpose. Now, relatively speaking, you can make 3/4 feel like 6/8. 100%. But the purpose of these tend to be a little bit different, because 6/8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6, you can feel the waltz in this whole thing, while a 3/4 in that same speed would be 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3. So it gives you a somewhat different sense. It's still a dance like time signature that you get for all of these. Is just different how they feel. Now we are in this 6/8. The vocalist is actually singing a little bit higher. We have that contrast between the verse and the chorus, which is really, really important to have. This is a lot more melodic, and yeah, let's see. I think next Saturday. Really cool. Ooh, very nice. Man, this is beautiful. Okay, so look at I don't know what that is. So now off the ramp we go. We are going through all the concepts. Oh my god. So off the ramp is a colloquial term that I use. Colloquial just means there's no official academic term, or at least I'm not using it. And going off the ramp is what I call a transition. Usually, yeah, it's a transition. It can be as short as a couple of beats. It can be as long as an entire section, where you want to make your listener feel suspended up in the air at the mercy of inertia, off a ramp, waiting to see where you land. How did we do this? We removed the drums. Maybe the bass too. Right now it was just the drums, and we have turned into the concept of a cappella. Cappella, which translates to in chapel. A cappella music is vocal music. When you only have vocal music, and I think we're only vocal music right now. We've gone through a fully vocal arrangement. Let me hear a bit more. No, it's mostly vocals. We still have the bass, so almost fully a cappella. So, not that you're ever interested in music, but I'm okay with the speed and change-ups. I am okay. I'm with it as well. But I can see how it could be, overwhelming. So, Nimbus, welcome to today. How you doing? So yeah, let's see where this goes. If I fade, Oh, listen to that. We bring back the drums. Can you believe this is the same song as the beginning? This is insane. And this is what prog music is. And this is why I've mentioned before that prog music faces a very, very big challenge when it comes to the different aspects of it. Because usually when you have the balance between what is new and what is familiar, usually in form, right? So when you have form, you will have section A in an instrumental, then you're going to have section B, which is going to be some sort of contrast, but you still want to have some sort of connecting tissue between the two. The problem that genres like prog and gent, this one doesn't have this. This one is not having it because the motif is still there, the bass line is still there, but a lot of these will often not have any connecting tissue. So section B is going to be completely unrelated material to section A. Section C is then going to come in, then section D, then section E, and you're just going to continue. At what point does song 1 start? At what point does song 7 end? There is no telling. It's all a series of disjointed riffs and material one after the other. This one doesn't have it. This one doesn't have it. This one is actually keeping that connective tissue between, like, we had it from the intro, we had that riff, and that bled into the verse. The verse then bled into the pre-chorus. The pre-chorus then bled into the chorus. Now the chorus, we're in the transition, which I'm gonna call the post-chorus, I guess. A post-chorus, which the material from the post-chorus is both from the chorus and from the intro. So we are bringing things back and we are revisiting the material that we've been using so far, which is very rare for prog music. It's very, very rare. Feel like prog a lot of the time isn't for a general audience. Yeah, and neither is atonal music, and that's to their prerogative, because it's music. Like, I like prog music. One of my favorite bands is Between the Buried and Me. I love their music. Swim to the Moon is my #1 favorite song of all time. It's nearly 20 minutes long, and I love every second of it. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. Their album Parallax 2, one of my favorites of all time. You can make prog music and you can make it fun. Haken does that as well. Then you can have prog music with the academic complex of people are not smart enough to understand what I'm making. And then they're surprised why no one likes their music. So it's a careful balance to be had, because yes, there's a lot of fun in exploring all of these concepts, but if you want to make your music cater to the percentage of a percentage of a percentage of people that could possibly hope to understand, because they're the ones that studied the music as much as you did, don't be surprised when no one listens to your music and no one likes your music. And hey, if that's how you're expressing yourself creatively, go for it. Go for it. Absolutely. I'm just saying. Yeah, so by people who may like prog and people who probably won't. Yeah, that's with all the genres. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's, at the end of the day, art is subjective. But then there is the people who have the snobs, the brown-nosed snobs that are just completely up their own farts, that will not accept the fact that doing something simple can be good. There's that balance to be had. Again, one of the bands that I really like that makes prog very digestible is Haken. Haken. Let me just write down the name. This band, Haken, their album Affinity. Incredible album if you want to get into prog music, because it has a bunch of proggy stuff, but it's very digestible. It's really, really good. And right now, I would say individually, the sections of this of this song over here, the individual sections have been really good, very digestible. It's just been the pace. So, thank you for the follow, Musicius. Thank you for the welcome to the mosh pit. So, let's see where this goes. Because yeah, listen to this. This is beautiful. And back to the verse we go. Verse 2. Oh, wrong button. No. After this. Okay, so now we revisited part of the intro. We brought that back as what we can call an instrumental break. So now we bring in a break after the post-chorus. Let's see where this goes. Off the... Oh! Drums and bass again, man. Oh, man! Woo-hoo! And we've entered solo territory. So after the break, we've now entered... But that was my computer. We've now entered a fairly rare type of solo, a bass solo. So when it comes to music, once again, familiar, new. Solos are one of the exceptions to this rule. You can bring new material, whatever you want, when it comes to solos. You don't need to revisit anything. You don't need to redo anything. You just need to sound cool. And this sounds cool. Let's see where it goes. Back to the riff of the verse. Oh. Oh. Verse 2. There we go. Let's just bring this over here. Yep, structurally speaking, this is very, very much the same as the first verse. We are revisiting material, and this material we did get exposed to back in the intro, so it does have that element. It was an overture, and there are some slight variations, like there's an extra vocal here or there, but overall, the whole thing here is pretty much the same. And that's a good thing, because repetition is your friend. And oh boy, does this song need some repetition. Let's see where it goes. Break again. Break 2. No, it's pre-chorus. Okay, so we take the structure of the pre-chorus, and we, instead of having those vocals, we have a guitar solo now. Creative way of reusing the structure that we have without sacrificing much else. Let's see where this goes. Oh. So yeah, this next part, this is, yeah, it's another break. It's another break. We're doing something kind of different, kind of not. It's that little section we had at the end of the intro that was building tension. Let's see where it goes. It's still solo. It's still a solo. It's still part of the solo. Pre-chorus. Pre-chorus. There we go. Really groovy. Organ again. Chorus. Couldn't find a big... Yeah, we're gonna count this at the end, yeah. Let's see. Chorus 2. Nice, Mochichilo, nice. Welcome today. Megumi, welcome today. How you doing? Ah, lovely. We go to the post-chorus again. Post-chorus 2. And this time we have a pedal tone with the organ. Pedal tone is just a note that is being held. Right now the organ is holding it kind of like a ceiling. This is very lovely. This is very, very lovely. I like it. I like it. Let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes. Post-chorus, which has some of the melodies from the chorus. Yep, they do. We repeat the post-chorus. Chorus with solo, with guitar solo. Post-chorus again. This could be outro territory. Because this is what, post-chorus 3, 4. And now we're entering outro territory. We bring back the strings. Outro part 2. So I guess this would be a break. So outro. Really, really cool throwback. And we bring back the tremolo strings from the start. Couple more repetitions, and there we go. Man, look at this. This is convoluted. This is convoluted, but it had an ending. We're on live queue. Then we're going to do offline queue. So, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 sections in this track. 17, 18 sections in a single song. Is this the most yet? From 6 minutes 44, it's not been the most that I've seen myself, but it is excessive. It is excessive. Still, this was a good track. I liked it. I liked it. Very, very careful. Still, the pace of this thing was breakneck. It was absolute breakneck speed. Very heavy contrast at the end in the last part. Like in the second part, like once we started the second, like the pre-chorus, number 2 or number 3, I lost count. Mastermind, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the mosh pit. It changed from metal over to from heavier metal to more rock and roll. Like it reminded me a bit of Queen. The last part, like the second half, reminded me a bit of Queen, which begs the question: why was this a single track? I mean, I know why it was a single track, because it was still the same material that then came back to the start. We brought it back at the very end. Interesting structure, I would say excessive. Each individual part was really good. The pacing of this was very, very, very fast. So, yeah, I would say that without wrong button. That without the without a video game behind this would be a very, very niche track to enjoy. By itself is I would say is decent enough, because it was super well produced. The composition itself was really good. I would have maybe allowed the track itself to breathe a little bit more, but composer makes his decisions the way he does. And yeah, there you go. By overall, good track. And I think in a game like Guilty Gear, because I know of Guilty Gear, that kind of pace, this is perfect for it. This is perfect for it. So yeah, there you go. That was The Gravity from the Guilty Gear Strive soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what has happened here, musically. So, if you're watching this on the video, YouTube, archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member, all those good things. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3 seconds, I will be linking it in the description. If you want to request a song, if you're on the live stream, not yet. Do not request yet. And if you're not on the live stream, go to the Discord server, linked down below. Go to the LFA requests channel and follow the instructions in the pinned messages. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. Full stream schedule showing in your local time zone in case you're not in Europe. They are on the Discord and on the Twitch channels. They both have the full stream schedule up to date in your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel, because of course we have one. I'm on YouTube, of course I have a gaming channel. Games are Bastard, that's where I put the VOD recordings of the after shows if they happen. Link down below, or just search for the username, same username as James or Basterd, just swap the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you go, man. That was a trip. That was a trip. Good stuff. The gravity from Guilty Gear. Good stuff. But yeah, let's move on.